Hello all, so this is my 1985 Ski Nautique 2001 I'm putting up for sale. It is in fantastic condition. Like I said, it's a 1985 model. I have done a lot of work getting it to this state here. The interior is pretty much all original. This piece here has been replaced. Pretty much all the rest of it is original. I have gone through and replaced all the seat bases that the seat bottoms and the backs mount to. I have rebuilt this seat here and this seat base here, replacing all the wood. I replaced the wood in both side pieces here. Everything else is original and is in great condition. I've gone through, ripped all the floor out, pulled the stringers out, and replaced all them with epoxy resin and fiberglass and all new wood. Every piece of wood in the boat has been replaced. I have a forum post where I went through and documented the entire process as I did that, so you can go through. I'll put a link to the build post in the ad so you can go through and look at all that if you want to. The Teak swim platform is in great condition. When I went through and rebuilt it, I added a ski toe ring here. This model didn't have it from the factory, but they had them in later years, so I went ahead and added that. I replaced the rope in the rub rail with the black, so it just looks a little better. Engine is in great condition. It has, let's see here, 856 hours, something like that, almost 857. I'll show you the engine. The engine is a 351 Windsor. It is a reverse rotation engine. I just rebuilt the carburetor. When I pulled it out of the garage this spring, it was running a little rough, so I went ahead and rebuilt that, so you don't have anything to worry about that. I have upgraded the power and ground wires from the front up here to the motor and to the very back there where the gas tank is. I've upgraded the wire to the alternator. It has electronic ignition that was replaced last year. MSD coil. I just replaced the rear seal on the transmission. It was leaking a little bit, so I went ahead and replaced that. The impeller was new last year. I replace it every other year. I pull it out every winter when I winterize it. The filter was new last year. Let's see what else. I put a new cap on it last year, a couple other things. I've got a big spreadsheet that's got all the stuff that I've done to the whole boat since I've owned it. I've had it since, I believe, 2006. It's a very good boat. It's been very reliable the whole time I've had it. All the gauges work. I added a depth finder so you can see how deep the water was. Both speedometers work. All the gauges work. Everything on the boat works. I hate to sell it. It has been a great boat for me and my family. My family has just gotten bigger and we needed something bigger. So, unfortunately, that means we need to sell this boat. Really, the only thing wrong with it, these seat bases down here, you can see some of the stitching pulling through right here and right there. Other than that, the interior is in fantastic condition. No real tears or holes. As you can see, it isn't all in great condition. It looks like some of that stitching there is pulling loose as well. But in great condition. Like I said, this seat base here has been recovered. All new carpet, all new floor. The foam under the floor is new. All the wood blocking back here in the back for the swim platform to mount to. The lift ring here. The lift ring up front, down in the hull, went through and reinforced that whole front area under the hull, putting some extra fiberglass under there to make sure it's good and strong. The lift ring and the ski ring back there, it has new wood, but I also put an aluminum backing plate in the wood under the fiberglass, so that is very, very strong. From this ring here and that ring up there, you can lift the whole boat out of the water and it'll stay in the shape that it's in, because that's what it was designed to do, was for lifting the boat out. The packing in the drive shaft and the rudder, both replaced. I have extra of that packing that goes with the boat. I also have lots of old parts, original parts that goes with it. But I'll show you some more when we go to look at the trailer. For now, let's fire it up and take it for a spin. Hopefully it'll fire right up. Turn the blower on. Oh, thinks we're in drive. Like I said, fires right up. It's got that nice throaty rumble of a classic Nautique. Alright, let's take it for a drive and see how it does. I'm going to do this not cutting so you can see exactly how good it runs. Alright, so we're idling here, what, 400 or 500 RPM, something like that, maybe 6, and punch it and it goes. We're doing around 3,000 RPMs and doing about 30, something like that. I don't have the speedometer synced up right now. I usually sync them up as soon as I get on the water, just with GPS to make sure I'm running right. But for what I do, it works just fine. Most of the time when I'm running it, I very rarely go over 30-35 miles an hour. Red line on it is about 4,500 RPMs. I don't know that I've ever had it up that high. Most of the time we're out riding, we're riding 25-30 miles an hour, just kind of cruising. Never used it for barefooting or anything like that, so I never really had a need to go that fast. Pulled a couple of slalom skiers around 35 or so. I've had it up to 40 a couple of times just to let it run and breathe a little bit, but I don't think I've ever had it over 40. So as you can see, the temperature works. It's got a 150 thermostat in it, so it runs around 150. A little over 13 volts. Depth finder works. Tack works. Oil pressure works. Around 40 psi is what this boat is made for, so that's what it's running. The fuel works. The fuel may not go all the way to the completely full. I think the sending unit just may be a little dirty. So, but it lets you, it still works and lets you know you have a gas or not. If this will focus. See, the hours works. Boat handles chop much better than it did when I first got the boat. Oh, there's a stick in the water. Since we're redoing the stringers and all that, much stronger boat, so it handles chop a lot better. See, it's got a great wake. Boat handles like a dream. If you turn, it turns. Handles like a sports car. Alright, I'm going to switch off of this handheld camera, hook up to a GoPro, and drive a little bit more. fine as well. You know anything about inboards, you know that you don't have a whole lot of control in reverse, but it stops you and you can control it a little bit once you get used to it. I'm running here around 20, a little over, about wakeboard speed. I'm the only one in the boat. No balance, but it throws a fantastic wakeboard weight. It's not as wide as some of the bigger boats, but once you weigh the boat down with some ballast, it's competition level shape of weight. It's just not quite as wide. Super easy to trailer the boat. Pretty much just put it between the two uprights and it goes right on. Alright, now we'll do a walk around the outside. When I bought the boat, the only thing holding the boat to the trailer was a chain from that bar there up to the eye. I did not like that, so I built a winch holder here and added a turnbuckle, so both of those hold it on now. All the bunks and carpet have been replaced. All the lighting has been replaced with LED. The wiring's all new. It's got new bearings and seals. I added lights to the top up here. I put new PVC on the pole. That is the guide cover there. I added that when I redid the trailer, I think in 2012. I added boat buckles to the back here. You see here, there's some spider cracks. The previous owner who had it had a jet ski run into the back of it, and he had it repaired and then had the maroon stripe painted on, or repainted. When I redid the stringers and redid the floor and all that, I went through on the inside and can see where it was. I ground all that down and put a couple of new coats of fiberglass with epoxy resin. So that's good and strong. The spider cracks are just are just there from the previous damage, but that's all been fixed now. You can see the teak is in fantastic condition. Just give it a couple of coats of oil and you're good every season. It's wiped down after every run. Boat is in fantastic shape. Again, it's a 1985 Ski Nautique 2001. These vinyl here, this vinyl's new. The back vinyl back here is a little bit older, but this vinyl here I just put on in like 2012, I think. I just replaced the rub rail here. I did that last year, I believe. Interior is in great shape. The trailer I wouldn't hesitate to pull anywhere. Tires are new last year. I put new bearing buddies on it, I think 2 years ago. They were leaking a little bit, so I replaced those. I think that's about it. All the running gear, when I had all the stringers and floor and everything out, that was all removed, and when I put it back in, I replaced it all with 3M 5200. I added a swing away trailer jack here. The one that was on it to begin with was in the middle there and you couldn't remove it. Put the swing away to make it easier. New chains, added the handle for lifting the ball up. Added these holes here when I did the winch mount for holding the chain when it's not on the truck. Everything functions on the boat. Fantastic boat. Let me know if you want to come pick it up.